Anywho, you guys hear Tua yesterday?
What do you do?
Man, I love this guy. Because he's just tired of the bull bleep. He's tired of the bull bleep. Because you remember yesterday, I was going on a rant about people who are still dogging his arm. Like, they give props, but there's always a caveat that they throw in there. Even these dummies. I was listening to
I'm familiar with caveats. I work with you.
No, I'm not that. I don't do caveats,
What?
dude. No.
You're caveat cowboy.
No, I'm not caveat cowboy.
What are you talking about?
I've never put on Spurs in my life.
Really?
I'm not a caveat
You are
cowboy.
Caveat cowboy.
I'm not a caveat cowboy. Now, here's the thing. It's always like a pot shot that's gonna take it. And so yesterday, Tua was asked about, this notion that he can't throw deep because there was this video that came out of him practicing that third down throw basically from the offseason. Like, it was crazy how he mirrored it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, guys good. A lot of explosive plays, this Tua Tagovailoa. Pretty good at it. Doesn't throw it up to the Jets like a dummy, like Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
What are you rolling your eyes at for, Vlad? That was a great job.
Dude,
no, I'm not rolling my eyes like
dude,
rolling
do
my
you
eyes
want
like
it?
you. I'm
Can
rolling my eyes like,
Hold
yeah,
on.
it's true.
Time out.
What?
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
I do fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
My starting quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Oof.
One of my starting running backs, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's tough, dude.
The fantasy guys don't like you.
Yeah.
Well,
Who'd you pick up?
Better pick up Matthew Stafford.
I haven't just started looking at it.
You better. What do you?
I know.
Yeah,
Thursday?
today's Thursday, right?
Games are tonight.
Okay. No.
You just tap it
But
out.
Here's the problem. The loser in this has to make a music video.
Well,
so I think I better.
You better go find a quarterback this break.
Yeah.
You better get on that, dude.
Now.
Is Tua still available?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Well, Tua. This was him yesterday on him scoffing at the deep ball doubters.
I think when you look at deep shots, it entails everyone. It for those watching, it's you can't just take a drop in the NFL and just decide, hey, because everyone says I can't throw the ball deep, let me just chuck this ball deep as far as I can. It entails everyone on the offensive side to work together, to be in symphony, and guys to be at the right places at the right time. Timing has to be right. And if timing's not right, when the pocket breaks down and it allows for you to do that, then it does. But being able to do that, that's because of all the guys that I'm surrounded with.
Do you think that anyone is still saying you can't throw deep?
I don't care. I mean, I don't care. 466 that's what 466 is if I can't throw deep. Thanks.
If the mic was actually in his hands, it would be a mic drop moment. But it's what? How?
You know why?
How much more does this have to get thrown out there?
Let me tell you why. Okay. I've learned a few things about people. And they would rather take the route that some of them are taking than say I was wrong. Right? I'm familiar with your work.
Excuse me?
Periodically, you go into the facts have changed. No, that was then. No. Stop. The facts have changed come from you.
What do you mean it comes from you?
That's saying.
Sometimes the facts change. The facts have never changed that Tua is going to be good.
No. I'm not saying. Look, see, here's what you're doing.
What?
I'm not talking specifically about you in this situation. Okay? But I am saying there are people out there that write stories and say things about Tua, right? That now they're trying to find ways to be right. They're not just going to admit that they were wrong. Maybe I was a little off on this one. Guy can throw. He doesn't have a hose, but his arm is plenty strong enough.
Plenty strong enough. Dude.
Right.
And
but again, you're going to be hard-pressed to get me to buy that he needs a strong arm when one of the best quarterbacks to ever play was Drew Brees. And guess what the knock was on him?
Small.
No, didn't have a strong arm.
I don't even feel like that was a knock on Drew Brees.
It was.
He was
it? And especially after he had he hurt his arm.
Surgery.
He had shoulder surgery.
But I never thought it was.
Keep in mind, the Dolphins took Dante Culpepper because they were scared.
Yeah, they were scared of the arm surgery, but it wasn't. They were scared of the surgery, but not his arm strength. I guess.
No, he didn't. He didn't have a what we would right. Yeah. Exactly. But and that's the same thing with Tua. But he gets the job done. His arm is plenty strong enough to throw for 466. So why don't you just kind of I was wrong.
Eat it. Yeah.
Eat it. They won't eat it. People will not eat it.
You're
When
like-
you're wrong, you're wrong.
I
They'll
was-
just find different little caveats to go and work their way around. And so I'm glad Tua said, you know what? Don't care.
Don't care. Like, how about numbers for you? 460. If your eyes are lying to you, 466 is 466, even though it is all through the air. Like, even Bill Belichick was trying to be a snarky bastard yesterday. And it's like, no, actually, there were some bombs there, Bill. Maybe you want to watch the film a little bit more while you get ready for this weekend.
Now, I will say this. Now, what makes his arm strength really sneaky, right, is that he throws into tight windows across the middle of the field more than anyone.
Big balls on him.
So I'm talking about all these guys that have these hoses, the Josh Allens, all these guys that you say, oh my goodness, he throws the ball more precise than those guys up the middle. So how can you question his arm strength when he's willing to throw the ball in spots that terrify most quarterbacks?
That's why he leads in BBY, dude. That's why he leads in BBY.
I don't want to know.
You know what it is.
It's right before BBW or right after?
Yeah, it's around the same category. If you go on Pornhub,
yeah,
you have one for the big ladies, but if you go one category down, BBY, big balls yards. It's just Tua throws. It's a whole video library.
Point for
No, you know what? I'm not giving you a point.
Why?
That was an accident. That was really a minus. That was a minus.
For big balls yards?
dude.
First of all, the way, the context you put it in,
Right.
Pornhub, like,
Yeah. He's got
you
his
know
own
what?
category.
If there was a Tua, you know what? Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Because I think you would be the only
I'll
subscriber
tell you something
to
else.
BBY.
I'll tell you another. Well, no, that's not true. It's actually like one of the most popular. Like, we see those ratings that come out every year.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
what's the
How
most
do you
popular
know it's the
category?
most
Oh, we
popular
do that.
category?
That's what we found out when we like Pornhub goes. These are the most popular categories by state. What was it? Colorado had golf, right? That's what we found out. In Florida, most popular category BBY.
-1.
It's like one of those niche categories. So it's like, people who like furries. That's about where OnlyFans is too.
Well, I'm saying
-1.
Fangs is losing some subscriptions because, yeah.
Yeah, man. But this past game with Justin Herbert, right? Oh, what a rocket on! Let me tell you something about him. He's a check down Charlie. He's a check down Charlie.
And that's the thing that amazes me. Do you not understand? Everybody's offense is set up to get rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds. Because if you don't, usually your offensive line ain't good enough to hold that long. So how far is a defender going to get down the field in 2.5 seconds? So everybody's thrown it in the same areas. But we just give one guy, whoo, look how far he threw that. Usually when you say somebody threw it far like that, it's never caught, right? It's never caught. Josh Allen did it, and then they go, hey, wait, here's the kicker. Josh Allen did it. You know what they said? That's almost better than a punt. Really? Because it's a pick.
It really wasn't. I mean, like, he could have. You know what's better than an arm punt? Running for the first down that was right there for him. Idiot.
An arm? What did you call it?
Arm punt.
Dude, some of your phrases, the terminology is just horrible.
Why?
An arm punt,
An arm punt. What would you call it?
interception, like
Arm.
like I just pictured him going.
Boom. Well, it would have been there anyway. I didn't see anybody. The Chargers should have had an arm punt, but their dummy cornerback decided to take it out for 3 yards.
Right, 3 yards. Which, like, yeah.
Not a smart team.
I mean, like, you know what? Here's the problem, and this is, we're gonna probably hear from Mike McDaniel later,
Mhm.
and you're gonna hear something, and you're gonna wonder, how is this possible? And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. And it's based on that guy catching that and running out of the end zone instead of staying in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because as much as we want players to be team players, we treat them as individuals. And then when they act like individuals, we get mad. But some of these teams are doing it to themselves.
Hmm.
I'll explain.
Hmm. Point is, enough of Tua having to answer about these stupid arm questions.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is. You know who's one of the most beloved quarterbacks down here the short time he was here? Chad Pennington.
Noodle.
Couldn't bust a grape on a wall, right?
He had no arm. That's true.
But
he was really effective.
Right. That's my point.
He was really effective.
That's my point. Guess what? Every running back or every wide receiver that played the game that was great didn't run a 4.2. Jerry Rice ran like 4.5, 4.6. Don't mean he wasn't the greatest, right? Like sometimes we take all of these measurables and use them more than we use what we see.
Yeah, like the guy who, you would probably go back and you're like, Peyton Manning's arm versus Brett Favre's arm. Brett Favre had a cruise missile, but I mean, how many interceptions? Threw to everybody.
He had the record for everything.
That dude was generous with the football.
Yeah.
Generous with the football.
I mean, he wasn't even drafted in the first round. Second round by Atlanta. And Atlanta didn't even want him. They traded him to Green Bay. Go figure. But think about it. Can you think about it? I can think of two players that got traded from their original team and became Hall of Famers, right? Chris Carter got traded by the Eagles to the Vikings, right? Because all he wanted to do was catch touchdowns. And Brett Favre. Brett Favre got traded to Green Bay. That's crazy.
I know.
So, yeah, you go to all these intangible. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
And this is not just, would you rather a quarterback who was very accurate or a quarterback who had a strong arm? There's a lot of quarterbacks playing backup that have strong arms that everybody still thinks is going to work out.
I know. It's just a strange thing. It's like, I get,
it makes you seem stupid when you say something like that and you talk about football on a daily basis.
I just don't understand when it's going to be the point where he's not. Here's the thing: he's not limiting the Dolphins.
Right.
If we could go around and you're going to say one of the Dolphins. If you think the Dolphins are good and you think the Dolphins are going to do some stuff, who is the number one reason that's going to be the case? The guy is really good at quarterback. There are no caveats on this anymore.
There's not.
There's no side pieces on this. Like I was listening to these dummies EEI and they're still.
Oh wait. Can I please say the line?
Yeah.
They go. Would it be any different if you switch the quarterbacks?
I think Max still got a higher ceiling. He just doesn't have the weapons.
Yeah, that's it. That's where it goes, right? Now, if it was any other team, so for years they complained about Brett Favre, got the talent, they don't give him any weapons.
Yep.
Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, he doesn't really have that number one receiver. They do it by committee, right? Like, stop.